Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all the higher praise, honor, glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikar, Kodash. Okay, double honors to the elders, and honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us the word of truth, in which sincerity is always. And in this lesson here, I just want to get into some of that, just touching up on some of the roots of America. Some of the roots of America here. Some of the scandals that happened, in particular, some of the scandals that happened in the presidency of Bush. The Bush family, matter of fact. You had father Bush, and then Bush, his son Bush Jr., Bush W. So just to make sure I'm not. You had it, George H.W. Bush, 41st president, and you had George W. Bush, 43rd president. Okay. Matter of fact, let me go back to this. Well, I'll look this up here. Okay, where is that? Let's show that one, please. Check this out here.
You lied about weapons of mass destruction. You lied about connections to 9/11. You lied about Mr. Bush. What are you?
This reads, on September 19th, 2021, George W. Bush spoke at a live event in Beverly Hills.
Was around too. And
Mr. Bush, when are you going to apologize for the million Iraqis that are dead because you lied? You lied about weapons of mass destruction. You lied about...
And I'm basically going into this to break that Babylonian spirit of a patriotic spirit of America's built of freedom. It's beautiful state and country, all the bullshit you hear, especially Jake, say about America. This is a great country. We've a lot of opportunities here, man. You can make it here. No, you can't. And then this time that thing is fading, because as we've been saying to the spirit, the glory of Esau is fading. Okay, you can't even rub two pennies together now to buy yourself a single small ass sucker from the dollar store today. So no, that dream is gone. You need $20 to make $10 in this society, the way its economy is. And them $20 come in handy. Next thing you know, you don't even have anything left. You're at your last dollar before you know it. And you forgot to put it on your gas tank. But the glory of the phrase "the glory of Babylon shall fall" is found in the King James Version of the Bible, primarily in Jeremiah 51:49 and Revelation 18:2. It reflects the prophecy that the powerful and proud city of Babylon will be overthrown due to its sins and violence. It's Jeremiah 51:44. And I will punish Bel and Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. Jeremiah 51:49. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. So let's go back to this man here cussing this devil out.
Connections to 9/11. You lied about Iraq being a threat. You sent me to Iraq. You sent me to Iraq in 2003. My friends are dead. Joshua Castile. You killed people. You lied. You lied about WMD. A million Iraqis are dead because you lied. My friends are dead because you lied. You need to apologize. Apologize. You need to apologize. Apologize.
Are you with this gentleman? No. What just happened?
I'm wondering if they're going to arrest me, but
What just happened?
I just disrupted George Bush speaking. They dragged me out. I guess the cops are not after me. So
I just saw them running, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, Etha.
I'll sit on that. You can watch this documentary too, entitled Iraq War Veterans 20 years later. I don't know how to explain the war to myself. This came out in 2023. I'll get an excerpt from it real quick.
Calm down. It's a wedding day. They always shoot up.
We were in a firefight. Couldn't see my fingers, basically. I was hoping I still had my fingers. I couldn't tell where I was shot. I just knew my arm was numb. And I found out I had my fingers and I could move.
Or some days they look at us mean and, give us gestures that they didn't want us there. And
When I first got there, I noticed a lot of people doing.
Okay, let's go back to this.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to localization, and for the religion. In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. Iraq, anyway. 75.
And devil man. That's Antiochus Epiphanes right there. In case you don't know. Alright, but let me get this here real quick. Yeah, man, so this is going back into the whore Babylon. I don't got any scriptures on that ready, so I'm gonna just do this. I got some notes though I took the other day that I wanna highlight for y'all. For your newer brothers, particularly this for you as once again as well. Write these notes down. Because we cuss America out. We say how wicked it is. But you also gotta be able to pinpoint certain events and things that they've done. Well, you already know the obvious ones is slavery in person that they did upon Judah. Robbing this land once again from North American Indians. Said it before, gonna say it again, doesn't matter. Care if I sound old. Don't. But yeah. What say ye? This is Revelation 17, verse going into the whore Babylon. Let's see this one here. Try to get back there. This is Revelation 17, verse 5. And in her forehead was a name written, a mystery, that great Babylon, that mother of whoredoms and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great marvel. And the angel said unto me, wherefore marvelest thou? I will show thee the mystery of that woman and of the beast that beareth her, which hath 7 heads and 10 horns. Yeah, so the woman's a part of the beast, which the beast is the military power in the callous of America. The beast that thou hast seen was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. This was back. The bottomless pit there is going into Rome, Italy over there, Europe as well, and all of them NATO nations over there. And shall go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names are not written in the book of life in the foundation of the world, when they behold that beast that was and is not and yet is. Alright, so come, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. So that's America coming back. As the modern day Roman Empire, which would be America back in the time, which is all just going into Edom as a nation coming back to power, as they were in power as the Edomites. They are as the Edomites with their original name the Lord gave them as a nation, the nation of Edom. And they came as the Greeks. Name that they gave themselves, which was actually and then as they came back as the Romans. Same people, just different name of the nation. Alright, so Excuse the weird noise in the background. So whatever that fuck that is, a demon or something back there. That thinks that's so that. So we're gonna go back here. It's going into how you stupid ass Israelites think that, you know, America's such a great nation, it's so good. This is the perfect scripture to cut that bullshit up there, man. This is Jeremiah. If it's too loud, he can just come and knock here and talk to me like a man and be a human being and say it's too loud, turn it down. So it's just whatever it is. This is Jeremiah 12, verse 12. And that's why this is going to happen to Babylon, man, and all its wickedness here. This is Jeremiah 12 and 12. The spoilers are come upon all high places through the wilderness. For the sword of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, shall devour from the one end of the land even to the other end of the land. No flesh shall have peace. Right, no flesh shall have peace. Yeah, and this is what's going to happen eventually. America's going to get invaded. That's why it says in the book of Satan not to get off. That's why it says in the book of Matter of Fact. I'm gonna just get the title for this Kim Jong, our man there, Kim Jong there. It says, title is, yeah, we're basically GMS and like-minded affiliates, right? Chief affiliates. Are we're Kim Jong-un supporters and Trump supporters. And Israel supporters. This is the nation of Israel supporters. Ultimately, this is North Korea is entitled here. North Korea's Kim says military ties with Russia will advance non-stop, right? Or advance non-stop, and it says here Kim Jong-un made the comments at the groundbreaking ceremony for a memorial for North Korean soldiers who fought for Russia in its war with Ukraine, state media said. So basically, the point here is right. So wait a minute. This is the point here. Says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said the military brotherhood between his country and Russia would advance non-stop. Americans are not expecting this to happen. Matter of fact, it says in this one too, it's going into prophecy here. North Korea says its latest missile tests demonstrated new hypersonic system. It's lucky I'm a bit hyped up from the caffeine I took earlier, but I mean, North Korea right there, the missile test demonstrated a new hypersonic system. Yeah, it's because when you go into Revelation 17, particularly the 16th verse, it says that the 10 horns, once again, is going to be NATO, who's eventually going to betray America. Which that solace upon the beast, he shall hate the whore. That whore there is America, and shall make her desolate and naked. And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, why is she called a whore? Why is America likened unto a whore? Because when you go into verse 2, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. And when you go into fornication, it's going into prostitutes. Going back to ancient Rome. Just looked up fornication, the root word. And it says here, I'll just get this here for you. I wish they could read it. Please read it, bro.
The English word, fornication, comes from the Latin word fornix, meaning brothel, which itself derives from the Latin word for arch, or vaulted chamber. In ancient Rome, prostitutes solicited business under these arches, leading to the word for arch becoming a slang term for a brothel. This Latin root is the direct origin of the English word, which was adopted from Old French around the 13th century.
Alright, so come on, there you have it. So when you go into that, and then also it goes into this as well. Let's get this.
In the Bible, fornication is often a translation of the Greek word porneia, which has a broader meaning of
Porneia, which goes back to porn, the word porn.
Of sexual immorality or illicit sex. The Hebrew equivalent in the Old Testament is zana, which can also mean to commit adultery or act promiscuously.
Yeah, it can also mean to commit adultery. So basically, it's really going into the woman committing adultery. A woman that sleeps with many men. And that's what Babylon does. Through her philosophies, basically. Now, it's not, nations can't commit literal physical acts of, obviously it's not, the nations aren't physical women that can actually end up committing adultery and things of that sort. So it's talking about strange philosophies, and when you go into Proverbs 5, so let me pull that up real quick. Proverbs, the 5th chapter. When you get verse 2, that ye may maintain discretion. And America was the one that started violence and war and all manner of new made laws and oppression against peoples and nations, and the inhabitants they're supposed to be governing over. So through these laws and specifically the democracy and their capitalism and communism, Marxist agenda, when you go further into it, deeper into it, because we're going to go into it, man, basically how America got a lot of its wealth from, and even England got a lot of its wealth from poppy drugs, which the whole drug trade started around, actually it goes further back than the 80s and shit with coke. Yeah, it goes way back than that. It goes back to the 1600s. With that's why you had the China poppy war with China and the U.S. That's really where the U.S. made a lot of Chinese drug addicts, because China wasn't trying to push drugs, and this is a prime example of this. Once again, brothers, that's why I knew we're brothers coming in. That's why it's important to go into the history, because you can bring Rev17 all day. But when someone comes up and asks you, oh, well, what did America's a free country, liberty, boy, now you're going to have to, what are you going to say after that? You're going to have to bring out something. You're going to have to say something to counter that, combat that. Scriptures say, study to show thyself approved, a workman needeth not to be ashamed of his work. If you're ashamed of your work, you should get fired. You should be fired. But it's one thing if you're just ashamed of it and don't try to improve from it. So the Lord tells us here to study these things and know these things, so to give an answer to the faith we're attesting unto. Yeah, and I'll get further into it later. Let's get the scripture here first. 3, for the lips of the adulterous woman drip honey. That's America. And her speech is smoother than oil. Yeah, Esau's changing the times and laws. One of the most recent ones not too long ago. Only like 10 years ago. It's 14 years back. 15 years back, Obama with the law to don't ask, don't tell. And allowing gays to marriage, which the word gay really just goes back to an old English word, which just means happy. That's why when you read the King James Version, there's scripture that says in gay clothing, meaning happy clothing, festive clothing, because the word gay, once again, just meant happy. But yeah, homosexuals, he gave him, or gays, he gave him basically the authority to lead the charge in getting married. Marrying man with man. That's going back to the adulterous woman. That contaminated box. For but in the end she is bitter as gall. Gall is a herb, a very bitter herb. Sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. Gone, and not even mentioning how America robbed nations, especially Southern American countries, of their wealth. You know, they make some of the best clothing. Some of these companies, rich. Hold on, man. Oh, hold on, bro. Right, some of these rich, multi-billion-dollar corporations, businesses, took their business to Honduras and other Latin American countries. Didn't pay them shit. Paid them shit money that they were already making for more, took over their land resources, made it the corporation's bit of property, didn't give anything in return to them, hence why they're poor and impoverished. Because how are you gonna, like Malcolm said, how are you gonna have all these resources, rich, these countries over there, those countries, bro, that are poor are very resourceful and have much resources, but they're in poverty. They got high levels of poverty. Doesn't make sense. Do the math. It's basic. It's simple. We already know these things. You study these things. All right. Verse 5. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the way of life. Her paths wander aimlessly, but she does not know it. Going into America. And now the Lord proceeds to speak to his people, his sons. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you lose your honor to others and your dignity to one who is cruel. And then it's not even mentioning the Israelites, particularly the Negroes especially, whom Esau has destroyed, putting the drugs in our hoods and setting us one against another through the media and what's trending and what's popping and what isn't. Unfortunately, man, a lot of our people think it's popular to be a bunch of demons and reprobates, man, assholes, man. Unfortunately, man, adultery is a huge popular thing amongst Israel, the nation of Israel. And our young women think it's a great thing to hop from cock to cock, dick to dick. So, yeah, man, unfortunately, sorry for the interruption there, but, yeah. Fortunately, man, a lot of our young women think it's a trendy thing to hop from man to man, right, cock to cock. Because these older women hop from these older women, they see the older woman they look up to, right? And they see him hopping from a cock to cock. They tell them to go and do that shit. They don't realize that's all destruction and trouble right there. Unfortunately, a lot of our young men think that it's an awesome thing to sag your pants, right? Own and hold illegal firearms. To hate their brother, look at their brother in the hoods they live with. To look at them, start a whole neighborhood war with them, hood war with them, gang war with them. Because you got gangs and shit. Another thing that this whore taught and brought upon our people through her strange ways. Let's get right here. They followed waters. Verse 8, keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the doors of her house. Yeah, let's get 7 again. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. 9, lest you lose your honor to others and your dignity to one who is cruel. And we have lost our honor to others. That honor is on these Edomites now. These Edomites don't fight one against another. They don't look down on one another. If Esau wants to start a business, he can He goes, and it's also due to us being cursed that we this happens to us anyways. But you never see these Edomites fight. You know, you saw the Edomites can hate each other, but when they actually come together and they get some shit done, man. When Jake comes together, even if they try to, you know, the shit ends up all falling apart due to our disobedience. So if you're an Israelite now, you're lucky you still have a stable job. It's all the Israelites that don't have that. So unless strangers feast on your wealth and your toil enrich the house of another, and our wealth has enriched the house of another. Those other houses that our wealth has been given unto is these strangers. Lest strangers feast on your wealth. And we had that wealth when we had our land. But as it says in Daniel, the 9th chapter, verse 12, all Israel has sinned and fallen short. 11. At the end of your life you will groan when your flesh and body are spent. You will say, how I hated discipline. How my heart spurned correction. I would not obey my teachers or turn my ear to my instructors. And I was soon in serious trouble in the assembly of God's people. Therefore, drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. And our own cistern there, our own well is Yahushua gives a metaphor too to what that is. The law, statutes, commandments, Deuteronomy 7. Deuteronomy 4. I think it's Deuteronomy 4. Yeah, it says, this shall be your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. In Deuteronomy 7, it says, the Lord has chosen thee. The Lord has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people upon the face of the earth. So we're only wise in understanding when Israel is in the right mind and the right spirit. And due to the curses, sometimes you can think you're in the right mind and the right spirit. And these nations still will look down on you because that's the curses. We lost that. We're only a shadow of the people of the nation we used to be. Where's our military men? Where's our 300,000 men from the tribe of Judah that was a part of our army? So that when another nation would come up against us with a 1,000,000-man army, we could go up there and meet them up in battle. Where's that at? We don't have that anymore. Where's our golden shoes that Solomon made, that we had in our temple, with his chief captains and chief rulers, who he set up in high positions of his own people, of Israel, right? Of Israel. We don't have that anymore. We lost that. Where's the northern tribe and the southern tribe being in unity once again, in one mind? Oh yeah, we lost that. It's a lock in. Oh yeah. We don't have that anymore. We lost it. So once again, that's why we're only a shadow of the people we used to be. Go read on 2 Chronicles, starting in chapter 1 all the way through. That was us. All those men conscripted in our armies. Those large number of soldiers we had in our army, that was us. We had our own kingdom, an ordered and well structured kingdom. Where's our temple? That would have been one of the wonders of the road if it was still standing till this day. That would have been one of the wonders of the road. Above that, weak ass Kaaba over there in Mecca, Syria. That our temple would have stood taller than even than the goddamn Pantheon in its time. Especially in the time of Solomon, you had nations coming from afar just to come and see Solomon, to be amazed at his wisdom and to see the temple. Then the Queen of Sheba would say, "Wow, how amazing this nation, wise and understanding people that have so God nigh unto them than any other nation." Where's that at? We don't have that anymore. Because we lost it. Because we lost it. And so yeah, man, these things should trouble you, bro. It should make your ass wake up in the middle of the night and cry. Yeah. So, bro. This is start. I want to get that. I think it's this one here. No, it's not that. It's going into. Yeah, inside this document here, I put Yeah, so let's go into more of that crimes of America here. It says Samuel P. Bush